Everyone's so excited for the Olympics in Japan, they've been wearing masks in anticipation all year.
You can't tell me it's too expensive. You can only tell me that it's a stupid idea.
No, I'm allowed to be here until the police come.
Ethics just hold me back. You know, like friends who stop me from driving after I drank too much.
Two dumb babies.
I love good NASA slander, man. That's fucking my favorite. With Willie, Simon, and Eric Freedman.
I would like all of you to know we're not in this together. I keep seeing this year's Olympics being called the Pandemic Olympics, which sounds like there's going to be some very different events.
And coming up next is not touching your face and washing your hands.
I'm really excited for the event where everyone just talks about Tiger King for a month.
This next event, people gaining weight. It's just gaining weight. That's all it is.
Talking to friends you haven't talked to in years because you're really bored and lonely.
FaceTiming your sister.
Hoarding papered goods.
Learning how to cook, kinda.
Final event is just sweatpants.
That's the official garb. It's just sweatpants and old t-shirts. There are a lot of people protesting to get the Olympics canceled this year.
Apparently the only people who can cancel the Olympics at this point is the International Olympics Committee.
So, like, Japan can't even just say no to the Olympics?
Does the IOC have an army or something?
This is going to make Japan bring back its army.
An IOC member said the Tokyo Olympics would happen barring Armageddon, and that guy's name was Dick Pound, and they let him talk.
Yeah, that's the kind of respect the Olympics Committee has for Japan.
Yeah.
They let Dick Pound talk.
He was like, the Olympics will not be given the shaft.
Dick Pound is the guy who gives out the condoms to the athletes.
When a guy named Dick Pound says the Olympics are happening and there's nothing you can do about it, you need to get yourself an army.
I never really thought about it, but I'm pro rearming Japan.
Thomas Bach, the IOC president, visited Hiroshima. It was to reassure the Japanese people this will still be the worst thing that's ever happened to Japan when the Olympics are over. And then he called them all Chinese.
Most importantly, also for the Chinese people.
Going to Hiroshima and calling Japanese people Chinese sounds like a Sacha Baron Cohen sketch. The Olympics is all about international unity, that all nations, big or small, will crumble under the might of two or three.
It's just like real life. 83% of Japanese people oppose the games this year. They've been holding protests.
You'd figure the country that likes mascots more than anyone would at least be happy for the Olympic ceremony.
One lady shot a squirt gun at the Olympic torch when it went by.
What happens if you extinguish the Olympic torch?
I don't know, 1,000 years of darkness?
I think the Olympic torch ceremony would be way cooler if everyone tried to put it out while the guy was running up to the thing.
Since 1988, over 2 million people have been forced out of their homes to make room for hotels, stadiums, and Olympic villages.
I support it. Get out of the way, less capable people.
Elite athletes are moving in.
That's the only kind of gentrification that I think we can all get behind.
The neighborhood's changed once the people who can do backflips moved in.
Everybody fucks in the Olympic Village.
It's even tradition to hand out condoms to the athletes as they enter the village.
They're estimated to give out over 160,000 condoms this year.
They probably don't even use lube, just a bunch of that hand chalk. I just bring my own condoms and keep the cool collectible Olympic condoms.
I hope they have the rings on the back.
Says participant.
I just dropped my Olympic condom here for my Olympic dick.
The prudes at the IOC designed anti-sex beds for this year's Olympic Village.
It's a bed with a big picture of your mom on it.
It's Japan, so they built a sound system that says, think about baseball over and over.
It's also a functioning bidet.
They're actually built out of cardboard, so they break easy.
What makes you think athletes can't just fuck on the floor?
You think they can put their bodies through years of intense training, but they can't blast off on the ground?
Fuck standing up. You guys are athletes, you know? You should be training.
Yeah, fuck in the shower or something.
Get off your ass. Oh, you need to lie down? Get the fuck out of here. They're adding a bunch of sports this year, but what they should be doing is removing sports. Some of the sports they're adding include skateboarding, karate, and gay chicken.
There won't be a live audience this year.
So it'll be like most times these athletes compete.
The roar of the crowd would probably distract most of them anyway.
At the very best, people care about the exploits of Olympic athletes twice in their careers.
They have regular meets where incredible things happen and nobody gives a shit until they call it the Olympics.
It's the same fucking thing.
That's why the U.S. basketball team doesn't actually give a shit at the Olympics.
They get way more glory on a Wednesday regular season game back home than beating the Lithuanians by 75 in Prague or whatever. There's always doping scandals with Olympic athletes.
If they weren't doing drugs leading up to the Olympics, they at least do them after they realize their lives peaked very early.
It's really hard to manage a Home Depot if you've ever been on a Wheaties box. You know, I was in the Olympics once. Yeah, I'm sure you were. Yeah, Carl's talking about the Olympics again. Don't give a shit. Good Summer Olympics, though. At least it's the good Olympics.
If it was the Winter Olympics, they would have just canceled it.
Japan would have revolted if they fucking are like, no, you're not risking public health for the Winter Olympics. You sick bastards.
What Olympic sport do you wish you could do?
I would do basketball, because then I could play basketball back home also.
If you could choose anyone, why not choose the one that actually has a career?
Yeah, I wouldn't go anything like running. Who cares?
Or if you're going to choose the one that you are actually best at?
I think basketball still, of all of them. I think I'm still best at basketball. I'm definitely not good at like discus or anything like that, you know what I mean?
Can't pole vault?
Yeah, I'm not a very good synchronized swimmer.
I think they need to get rid of any of the events where there's judges.
Yeah.
Any event that you can only win by a few people putting a number up in the air on cardboard, it doesn't count as a sport. There should be a definitive winner.
Yeah, there should be a clear winner. When the game is over, someone should feel like a loser.
Every game shouldn't go to decision.
I think fighting just needs to go longer. That's really all it is.
Yeah, fighting should absolutely go until someone's down.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope you enjoy watching baseball during the Olympics or something. Like regular baseball, not like Olympic baseball.
What country are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Yugoslavia.
Yeah, they really need a win.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Yugoslavian synchronized swimming team.
Are they still a country?
I think so. I think they won that war, or they lose that war.
I don't know. But the Olympics are fun because you get to hear about a bunch of countries you don't know exist.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Yugoslavia, good for them. They're still a country. Like seeing people you haven't seen in like years, you know? Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I thought you were dead. That's awesome.
You've been disbanded as a country.
That is a lot of fun. That's a big part of the Olympics I like.
Yeah, it's just seeing what's left in the world.
Oh wow, they really got it together. Yeah. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Don't